Welcome into Gamesthetic, episode 195. Alex Live Spark the Everyone. Phenomenal day, whatever day you're listening or watching the show. Got both the boys in here with me who just finished up a TCG Pocket match. Boys, how we doing?
I'm good.
Who won? Who won?
John.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. Shout out.
Due to a little bit of error on Zach's part.
A significant error on my part. But I mean, a win's still a win.
Yeah, dub's a dub.
Yeah, little errors that added up quite heavily.
That's
Otherwise, I should not have won.
That's fair. That's what can happen in a game like that, man. Hopefully you boys are doing great today. John, how are you? I didn't ask you. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Napping
Still
all
I'm a
day?
little low.
Man.
Still waking up a bit. I've only been up for like an hour.
Yeah, it's one of those days, you know. I mean, it's been a relaxing day for me too. Like, as you guys may have seen, the script came in very late today versus like I normally get it done like usually in the morning time. I don't think I turn on my computer till like probably almost 4 o'clock.
I mean, that's fair.
It's like, all right, I guess let's get on this and kind of get this done. I was having a nice relaxing day.
Yeah, I woke up, played some Dragon Quest, took a nap.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out. Speaking of, we'll be chatting about some Dragon Quest 3 HD2D today, as well as some other things like the Game Awards nonsense. That's just funny to me. And people are very pissed off about it. And honestly, rightfully so. I think people have a right to be pissed off about it. So we're going to touch on that, plus some random Xbox stuff. Got some Exodus news, South of Midnight news, and a bunch of other random things. Make sure to check out our Patreon down in the description below. We'd appreciate the support, as well as the support of checking out some Rogue Energy and Agent Inc., both down in the description below. Join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend. Turn down the music, and we're going to be going, boys. But how's you guys' week been?
Been good.
Yeah,
Can't
same here.
complain.
Been very busy for me.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you know, like I was telling you kind of before the show, but it's just been busy.
Yeah.
But it's been busy to the point where it's one of those weeks where it's like you're so like mentally and physically tired, you don't really want to do a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So like full transparency, I have not gone back to Dragon Age or Metaphor yet. I've just been playing Mass Effect because I can just turn my brain off and play. I'm just gonna keep it real.
What'd you think of that video I sent you the other day?
Which one?
The going through a Mass Effect playthrough saying I'm not going to hate any characters.
So hard. No, going through this recent playthrough, God, I really just don't like Jacob. I really just don't like this guy. Like, not only from the context I've got of where he's like the only character in the franchise that cheats on Shepard if you romance him as FemShep, but also just like going through too, he gives every wrong suggestion in the game. Like every single time he suggests we should do this, if you know the context, he's giving you a suggestion that will kill a bunch of people, and it's a terror. I can't stand this guy.
That's why when you go to the base and you find that place a shit show and you go, Jacob, you're here and you're leading them?
This makes sense. Can't stand Jacob. He sucks.
How have we gone full circle to like a year and a half ago where every fucking week is a weekly fucking Mass Effect segment?
To now
Because,
leading it with the show.
because he's playing Mass Effect again.
Yeah,
I know, but it's
I'm
like
sorry. I'm
it
sorry,
just,
John.
it keeps going every time.
Well, it's a round in 7 day. Let's be honest. That's
I like you needed an excuse.
I did actually because I wasn't playing Mass Effect before in 7 day. Once in 7 day hits, like all right, let's play some Mass Effect. And now I've just been on it.
But you got all these other games you've been trying to play.
I know. Like, you know, lately it's like I've been sitting down probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I want to play these new games, obviously, but it's like I'm just been tired. And it's like with Mass Effect, like I'm just playing. Like I've gotten through 2 so quickly because I've skipped like 80% of the dialogue because I've played it 25 times. So it's like I'm just playing. Just turn my brain off. Let's just play a game. Have a great time. I love the game. I know what happens. I'm just having fun.
Here's the question, Alex. Do you think you could do a blindfolded Mass Effect run?
Probably. I really do. Yeah. I'd be willing to try it. I'd be willing to try it.
That's sort of a wild thought considering it's a shooter.
Yeah. I'll try it. Can I have a handicap at least?
What's the handicap?
Like lowest difficulty? Or
I mean, that's fair.
Okay, all right. As long as you don't put me on insanity. If you put me on insanity, like
You don't play Insanity anyways.
I play insanity to an extent.
You played it once.
To an extent. Okay.
You beat Mass Effect 1 and then said non 2.
Yeah. Again, to an extent. You don't have to out me like this. Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
I'm outing you because I've beat literally every Mass Effect on Insanity.
If he tried to play it blindfolded, he'd like he'd play for an hour and progress like 15 seconds into the game. Probably.
That's not true. That's not true.
You could get further than that because I could get further than that blindfolded.
I mean, I think you're underestimating how much information you get from sound cues in games when you're just trying to walk around blindfolded.
Oh, in Mass Effect, yeah, no, it's almost nothing.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be pretty brutal. Yeah.
The first map is fairly straightforward. I mean, you can run into enough stuff that'll just slide you where you'll make it to where you need to go.
Yeah. You'll figure it out. I'll try.
I mean, it's straight left, cutscene, 3 enemies up the hill to the right, long path with more enemies.
He's acting like Thane right now. The way his eyes are blinking and everything, he's like breaking things down with the way Thane recalls a freaking memory. Jesus Christ.
That's usually about the Ashley encounter, talk with all her stuff. Yeah.
All right, so he could do it for sure. He's got a memory like freaking like a Drell.
Yeah. No, I kept playing Dragon Age, so
Yeah,
I haven't made it too far.
Combat did get better for you though. Because I love the combat. I personally love it as a rogue.
Yeah, I mean, combat got better for the most part. Now it's like most everything isn't really a challenge until it's like I'm fighting a boss that's like 8 levels higher than me or something.
Yeah.
And the difficulty I'm playing on, I'm kind of like, I don't know how playing on a much lower difficulty would be a whole lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because like right now I actually have to engage with like dodging out of like boss attacks and stuff.
Right.
Because essentially even basic enemies, if I take 3 hits, I'm dead. So you actually have to engage with like dodging and everything like that. And it's like nothing's really hard. It's like even just like fighting bosses 8-9 levels higher than me, it's just a slog.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I do a decent amount of damage, but at that point it's like I could leave and come back, or I could just sit here and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually just try to sit there and do it.
Any more of the characters growing on you, or still the same?
Yeah, I've got all the companions now. I don't still kind of, it's like I don't like the Necromancer combat, but I like him as a character.
I feel that. That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, generally they're all kind of okay.
Yeah, just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing particularly special. I making my own like story with my playthrough to try to make them
With
like
your direct character.
Yeah, try to bring some entertainment through for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've continued playing. I'm like 22 hours in or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, I finally picked it up. I mean, I very much feel like it's an Andromeda thing. It's very much gives me Andromeda vibes in the original of just, I mean, it's okay. And I mean, I'll probably play through it. I might go back to it eventually. But so far, dialogues, it's meh. Character interaction so far have been okay. Combat itself, it's as John said. Actually, it's slightly less than Andromeda because Andromeda, I like the combat.
Combat in Andromeda is so good.
Which class did you pick?
I decided to take the bullet and went mage.
Okay. I don't know how mage is, but at least for like warrior combat started ramping up at like level 18.
And I feel like as I get more spells, it'll get better because as it stands right now, I either use my staff and I am a standing magic turret, or I can use my orb and scepter where I put charges on people, then blow them up with a knife slash. And then my range, instead of like shooting a bow, I just hold my scepter out or orb and go, laser beam!
So yeah, I don't see as a warrior, we don't use something as lowly as a bow. We are Captain America.
Oh yeah, that's right. You say you throw your shield.
Yeah, you yeet your shield around.
You eat the shield around. I've got a bouncing shield now. I can throw it and cause explosions.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I would love to throw the shield around.
See,
I didn't use it at all in the beginning. Now that I've got a bunch of perks into it, I use it constantly.
Yeah, nonstop.
See, I'm also building, I forget what I think it's called like Void Shapers, a specialization, which consists of me using area control and causing people to be into a group, so I can just ultimate them all with my Kamehameha.
Nice.
Because the mage ultimate is just a giant fire laser beam.
Right.
So yeah, I could use some of that because, or like some grouping abilities
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, I'm a warrior,
Yeah.
but for abilities, I drop a damage of like a circle of necrotic damage on the ground, and then I summon like some spears in an area to hit them and bleed them and hit them with necrosis.
Yeah.
And then my ultimate is I summon like a giant necrotic tornado.
Why don't you take the Asian elf girl, Bella, with you? Or
Bel Air.
Yeah.
I go with
Bel-Air.
her occasionally.
she literally has a grouping skill.
Yeah, she does. I either take her or is it Neve?
Nev.
Nev.
I take her or Nev because I have my healer in Harding,
Yeah.
and then my other character is who has the best CC ability,
Gotcha.
and it's between those two because you have Balara's grouping lightning ability,
Yeah.
and you have Nev's Blizzard, which freezes
Yeah.
everything. So they're one of those two is my other companion that I take with me
I
every
mean,
time.
unfortunately, those two are going to fall off to me because I'm going to be doing that myself. But
Yeah, but for me, I'm like, I need CC and I need healing,
Yeah.
and then it's like, one character does one character does the other.
Yeah.
that's fair.
That makes sense.
Because, yeah, currently my spells consist of Magic Missile and Flash Freeze. I don't remember what it's actually called, but I just
You get the point. I get it.
I just throw out a wave of ice around me and it freezes everything around me within like a 8-meter radius, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah. It's like, all right, that gets the job done. I've just been kind of rotating on characters, just finding out who I like in there. You know, like I don't have like a set person like you do with Harding. I guess my set person is Lucanus. I think he's a cool character. You know, he's like my Garrus right now. But like in terms of like abilities, like they all have their pluses for sure.
I could probably try to bring Lucanus back with me in one of these runs because he can no longer heal or use any support abilities, but all of his damage abilities are increased.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I like Lucanus. He's
He's a
cool.
little upset.
Oh, poor guy.
Also, being a Dragon Dance fan, Varric got done dirty.
Who?
Varric.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, he got thrown to the wayside.
Oh, he's a great like side mentor character.
I mean, it is sort of entertaining that he's become a mentor after all this time because
Yeah.
this is his third tour with a Dragon Age hero. But yeah, no, him and Bianca got done dirty.
Yeah.
Because whenever I did the opening scene and Solus stabbed Varric, I was like, his ass better not be dead. I was like, if they killed Varric there, fuck this game.
See, that was my thought when he got stabbed. Like, Varric didn't die, right? It's like, surely Varric didn't die. Then
like-
like Bianca gets destroyed. I'm like, oh, man.
I was about to say, he didn't get done dirty like that. This is his third tour. I mean, that's fucked, guys.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. Anyway, let's get into some Dragon Quest talk. So Dragon Quest 3 HD2D. Let me run through some stats here. Highest player count ever for a Dragon Quest game on Steam. Shout out to that. Highest player count ever for a single player game for Square Enix on Steam. #1 seller on Steam globally. Came in at 82 on Metacritic, 85 OpenCritic, and lots of high scores with 10s and 4.5 out of 5s and 9s, like everything like that. And John did pick it up like he said he would. And he's been excited for this one for a hot minute.
Yeah. So I did pick it up. I've picked it up on Switch.
There you go. That's a good way to pick it up.
It's a good Switch game.
Did you pick it up digitally or physically?
Physically, and
Okay.
I almost got very mad because in the past 5 years, I've ordered 2 games to be delivered on day of release.
Yep.
It was Pokemon Sword, and it was Dragon Quest 3. I got home from work. Dragon Quest 3 was not there.
Yep.
Did it at least show up later?
It showed up an hour later.
Okay. At least it was only an hour later.
But I was sitting there, I was like, come on, man. That's why I don't order these.
yeah. That's why you have to walk into a GameStop and pre-order it.
No, thank you.
Yeah, not doing that, he said. All right.
No, I did pick it up, and I've been playing it. Probably around 10 hours into playing it so far. And one thing I will say is this game's very pretty.
Oh,
yeah.
I love the art style for it.
I love HD 2D games, man. They're beautiful. Square does a great job with them.
Yeah, but I mean, for Dragon Quest 3, game starts up, beginning of the story, it's your 16th birthday. It's time to go on an adventure because your dad your dad was a hero, and he went on a quest years ago, never came back. People speculate what happened to him, don't really know. So you turn 16, you go visit the king to get his blessing, and you go off.
Wait,
And,
why do you even know the king?
Because your dad was the great hero.
Okay,
So he was extremely well respected.
gotcha.
So
Okay.
everybody's excited to see what his son can do.
There you go.
Gotcha.
But yeah, essentially you go talk to the king. He tells you, yeah, it's like you're good to go on your quest, but to do that, you're gonna need to go open the teleporter. But to do that, you gotta it's essentially you get told you're headed on a quest,
yeah.
and to complete every step, you have to go visit like big towns and kingdoms and help them to gain a boon to be able to help you progress further in the game.
Yeah, it's standard Dragon Quest.
Yeah, standard Dragon Quest.
You have to do a bunch of bullshit before you can actually do your quest.
Map traversal is walking on the open world map, essentially, and then you find dungeons or towns or stuff like that where you go into and then explore. Pretty fun. It's like you get right before you leave the starting town, you get to create the party that you want to take. So there's a party create feature where you can create different classes of characters. There's I don't remember all the names for them, but it's essentially like your mage, your priest, your warrior. I think there's a monk, and then I think you can eventually make a monster wrangler, because fairly early on in the game you get introduced to the fact that there are non-violent monsters out in the world.
Yeah.
So if you come across them, you can some of them you can just talk to and rescue them, and they'll go to the monster sanctuary. And then some of them you have to have an item or sneak up on them and things like that to get them to join your group. And then you can eventually make a monster wrangler. For one sub quest, I ended up helping a kingdom retrieve the crown of the king. Then I became the king.
There you go.
King just relinquished all of his authority to me.
It's like, here you go, kid.
Here's the fun part of Dragon Quest. That was a sub quest.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
a sub quest. I became a king because it's like the king wanted a break, so he let me become king, and then he went to go watch the monster fights in the arena.
Versus a game like Metaphor, the whole entire game is about you becoming a king.
Yep. And that's just a sub quest.
And then there's a great when you relinquish being the king, so you can go back on your actually go on your quest. If you talk to the king's right hand man who's standing there, he's like, "Yeah, actually, he's made me the king regent 5 times in the past. So if you ever want to come back and be king again, he'll probably just let you."
Yeah, it's like, here you go. So you want to be king for a day? Have fun.
But yeah, it is kind of cool because they have the ability to keep that old school feel to it.
Yeah.
Because when you start the game, there's an option to be able to display where you're supposed to go on the map, like on the overworld map, and you can turn that off or on. If you turn it on, it's essentially when you talk to whoever's progressing the main story, you just get a circle indicating where the next location that you're supposed to go to is, or you can just wander around and kind of explore everything that you see, which is kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it is one where it's yeah, the main story wise, earlier I did a sub story quest line that is in no completely off on the other end of a portion of the map, where if you didn't just go explore over there for fun, you'd never realize it, because the main quest takes you for city, you go up and around, back around, and then you go straight down.
Yeah.
And it's up to the left, where I saw a town on the overworld map. I went into it, everybody's sleeping. And I'm like, what's going on here? I find an old man upstairs in a building. He's like, yeah, everybody in this town's been cursed to sleep.
Oof.
Went over, found a fairy town, and they cursed it's like they curse the town to sleep because the queen fairy was under the impression that her daughter was kidnapped by a human, when in reality they just ran off to be together because fairies and humans don't get along, or fairies hate humans apparently. So I had to. It's like sub quest there to go retrieve their, like, I forget what they call it, like some precious stone of the fairies and that. But yeah, it's a very pretty game. It's fun. I enjoy the Dragon Quest type grinding, where you kind of just farm the same areas, fight the same enemies over and over again. I find it very relaxing. The grinding in those games.
Yeah, you've always been like that. You've always enjoyed that grind.
Yeah, there's something about, like, not every like turn-based combat can I sit there and just grind it out for a while.
That's fair.
Dragon Quest is one of the ones where I tend to enjoy it. But yeah, game is a lot of fun right now. It's very pretty, and I'm really enjoying it. It's like I'm looking forward to continuing playing it. Partially because I think the other two games come out in, like, was it January?
Yeah, they're coming
Something
out
like
like
that.
next year. Yeah.
Yeah, they
you
come
can
out.
play the full trilogy because a friendly reminder for everyone listening. This is the first game of the Edric trilogy.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing that. I just had like my first, or earlier this morning when I was playing, I had like my first actual like boss fight.
Yeah.
Which was significantly more challenging than anything else so far. It was like all the monsters that I've been fighting and kind of grinding on, like crushing them, no issue. Like grind, like that typical grind that you would expect, where you're just like plowing through everything. It counted the boss fight in the same area, and I'm glad I was stocked up on consumables because I was not ready for it.
Yeah, one of those.
It's like I wasn't quite prepared for it. So now I'm even more stocked up and ready to go. Hardest thing I've had in the game so far, keeping my goddamn mage alive.
That makes sense. A lot of mages are glass cannons in the early ones.
God, he's the only character that has like every best piece of armor that I can have for him right now. Because I'm like, everyone else, I'm like, hey, you guys are doing fine. It's like, you guys are fine. You got a lot of health. This guy, I'm like, dude, you get hit twice and you die. But yeah, it's kind of just some of that early game learning how some of the AI targeting works, how much damage people can actually take in certain areas. So still learning the combat system to an extent. But yeah, having a blast with it right now.
Yeah, two things. One, I will say I think it's pretty cool that you picked this one up physically, because obviously this is by no means confirmed. I'm just speculating and seeing the writing on the walls and putting two and two together. But I'm willing to bet when the next two come out, if they get physicals, it'll probably be just, again, that big fancy art where you could line up all three cases together and be the art. That'd be really sick. Because I'm just putting two together. So, I mean, I guess shout out to that. But I do have a question, though. Is this like, for obviously someone who likes like HD2D games, because I mean, I enjoy them. I think they're beautiful. Is this like a great starting point for someone to jump in? Because I've never played Dragon Quest. I've always wanted to play 11 based on your recommendation. But I've still never done it. I know 11's different, though.
11 would be a great place to start.
Yeah.
But for this, I mean, like for this, especially since this is part of a trilogy, these are like fully remade games as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, it might be a bit easier because, I mean, it is Dragon Quest 3 because it's more standard RPG party crawl.
Right.
Yeah, it's much more like standard RPG. You can craft your own your party with your own types of characters. Like when you go to create your your party characters, they give you the standard 3 options of mage, warrior, priest. You can craft your own character with their own class and everything. Because I mean, it is very much like I'm getting a bunch of gear for character classes that I don't have right now. but yeah, it's like as far as a starting point, I'd say it's a great starting point because like it's not. I mean, keep in mind the original game came out in what, like 1988.
Something like
So
that.
it's
yeah.
like it's fairly straight, like as far as traversing and where to go and how to play it. It's fairly straightforward.
Yeah, it's not overly complicated.
It's not overly complicated, and like like it's been pretty fun, or it's been a lot of fun, really. So if you wanted to jump into Dragon Quest, I'd say it's a good one to start with because 11 is a lot different because 11 has like the open world or it's like the open areas with like it's more modernized where the monsters are on the like out in the field and you run up to encounter them, whereas this is random encounters. So it's but yeah, I would say give it a try if you wanted to play it because it's like just a simple fun game, and two, have you played the HD2D games yet?
I've played HD2D games. Yeah.
They're
I've tried both Octopath Travelers. I've obviously played Triangle Strategy.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that art style to death.
I would absolutely give it a try.
Because honestly, like I actually really want to pick it up just to have it as part of a collection. Because I'm putting 2 and 2 together that 1 and 2 will also physical release, especially when I see the sales in Japan for 3 selling out everywhere. I honestly just want to have them for collective sake. Like I really want. I want to continue to build my Switch collection just to have stuff. So I've actually really want to pick this up.
Yeah, I would. I would pick it up then.
Yeah,
it's like because
it'd be one of those things. I picked it up. I may not jump into it right away, but I know I want to play it eventually.
Yeah,
because I am interested in it.
Yeah, because
I would just pick up a physical copy then.
Yeah,
having your shelf ready.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the same thing. I saw a sale pop up for another game that I really want to play, but I know if I buy it, I'm not going to play it like anytime soon. Lost Crown on sale for $17 right now for Switch. That's a crazy price. So I want to pick that up and just have it ready to go. That's kind of how I feel with Dragon Quest. Same reason why I picked up Emio the Smiling Man, because I didn't want to miss out on the physical edition. I didn't want to miss out on that.
Well, it's like I've wanted to play the Dragon Quest Trilogy for. I've wanted to play it for a while, but it was like a year ago we got announced that they were remaking it.
Like
so I've been like holding off because I wanted to play these remakes.
Yeah, perfect timing.
So it's finally here, and I've been playing it and I've been loving it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, this is a great starting point. Other standard ones, if for more modern ones, can be up as 11 and then 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because 10 is an MMO, and I don't actually know what the heck 9 was on.
Isn't 10 getting an offline mode though?
It is.
Yeah.
It's getting an offline mode. I think in a similar art style.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. Shout out to that. Yeah, and shout out to Dragon Quest 3 HD2D. Like I said, good review scores. It's got extremely positive reception.
DS.
So, what now?
Dragon Quest 9's on the DS.
Is that it?
Yep.
Wow, interesting. That's interesting. Shout out to that.
Oh, it didn't get a remake, and maybe.
Oh, okay. All right.
I said maybe. Let's see if this thing pops up.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I would assume it was probably like PS2 or something because 8 was also
PS2.
I was gonna say 8 was also only available on PS2 and the Nintendo DS because I wanted to play 8 for a while, couldn't find didn't know where my DS was until one of you guys bought me 8.
Yeah, and you got 2 copies of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you did not get the demo disc, whatever it was.
Yep, the Final Fantasy 12 demo disc.
Instead, he got 2 copies of 8. So the next person that went in to try to buy,
they couldn't find it.
Yeah, the next person that tried to probably buy that Dragon Quest is like that store was not going to find the game because they gave us 2.
But I would say if you just wanted to collect them, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
If you wanted to play it, absolutely pick it up because I would assume this is a good time to do it because these remakes are coming in fairly quickly.
Yeah,
honestly,
they are. Yeah.
So I could see them judging the success on how these are, which they're doing really good.
Oh yeah.
I
Selling
could
out in Japan. Man.
I could see them coming back and doing some more remakes on it.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
unfortunately, I would say for physical copies of them, they're going to be limited. So once they're gone, they're probably going to be gone.
Oh, and they're gonna be. That's why I want to pick it up. That's why I really want to pick it up. It's because I want it on my shelf. I want it part of the collection.
I'd say digital will always be there, but hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of the reason why I bought it on Switch is like I could buy it on any other console, but I don't have a lot of reasons to play my Switch right now.
Yeah,
and I was like, Dragon Quest would be a really good reason to. It's like that'll be really great like Switch games.
Yeah, I don't know. I just the whole like vibe of HD2D games. It just feels right.
It
on the
feels
Switch.
yeah. When I was looking at it, I was like, I'm either gonna buy this on like PC or Switch.
Yeah.
And I would rather play it on Switch.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you would have bought on PC, you probably been playing on your Steam Deck, wouldn't you?
You didn't consider that.
Yeah, you could have done that. You
Didn't
didn't
think
even think
about
about it.
That's the first thing I thought whenever you said it was on Switch. I was like, it was either that or Steam Deck. So.
Yeah, that's where my brain went too. Is that you were thinking handheld? Because that's where my brain goes when I see these HD2D games. I'm like, that's a great Switch game. That's a great handheld title.
Yeah, I just haven't pulled it out of the dock yet to play it in handheld mode.
The Steam Deck?
No, the Switch.
The Switch. Okay, all right, okay.
Oh, my Steam Deck so far is like that's where I play like the last song I think it's called my like Metroidvania Souls like game.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I've been playing on it for the most part.
Right. Well, shout out to Dragon Quest 3 HD2D. And then you got another game coming out this week too. You got Stalker finally coming out. You playing Stalker this week?
Is that this week?
Yeah, that's this week.
Yeah,
That's
it's 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days from now.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up. I don't know how much I'll play it immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to playing that. I've never played Stalker, but this looks great, so why not?
Yeah. So maybe talk about Stalker next week. We'll see. 'Cause that's on Game Pass, yeah. But you don't have.
I don't have Game Pass
yeah,
right now.
You don't have Game Pass right now.
I might get it again eventually.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there I would like to play.
Right. Fair. That's fair. All right, let me shout out one of our sponsors. Let's shout out Rogue Energy. Use the referral link down below, promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off your order. But hey, if they have a better sale going on, that's fine. Just make sure you use the referral link. You can still help out the brand, whether if you want to pick up hydration, chill, energy, whether it's the can or powder, they're all fantastic. Again, use the referral link down below. Promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off your order.
I want to jump back to Dragon Quest real quick.
That's fine.
There was something funny that I just remembered. So I mentioned there was the sleeping town.
Oh, yeah.
That for that subplot. When I completed the sub story or the sub quest and went back and I was talking to everybody in the town and everybody was kind of confused. There's one lady walking around in the inn, and I went to talk to her. She's like, I don't really know what came over me. I was sleeping, and it's like pauses for a second. She goes, "You weren't watching me while I was sleeping, were you?" And you get a yes, no. So I was like, yeah. She goes, wow, that's a really weird thing to admit to.
Oh, man.
Oh, there's great little moments like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you're talking to people.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
I do enjoy just since people are going to get to be able to re-experience the classic Dragon Quest of just the nonsense that it is going from original, you're like an actual hero or someone of clout to what we have in the newer generations. You're just random people.
Yeah.
Like 8, you're just a straight up bandit, and like 11, you're not even really like a chosen person. You're just like sort of the guy left at it, wasn't it? Because you're called the Luminaire.
Kind of.
It's been a while since I played 11.
It's you become known as, or it's like you're not necessarily the chosen one necessarily, but you end up becoming the chosen one.
Yeah, you're the one.
It just
You're the
kinda
one who
happens.
decided to deal with this shit today.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's like at the beginning you don't know that you're the chosen one,
Yeah.
but you end up finding out you're the chosen one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just jumping back to it real quick. The nice thing about it is since it's a remake of an older game, you do have all of that. Don't tell you nothing. If you want to do anything, you got to talk to the people in the town, and they'll tell you where to go, or they'll give you little hints. That's it's the nice thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like as much as I love 11, game tells you how to do everything.
Yes, it does.
Right.
And then you jump into this one.
Hand-holdy.
Yeah, this one you jump into it. It's like go on an adventure.
Figure it out.
We're not going to tell you where.
It's up to you. Hence the adventure part.
Yeah.
You know, just go figure it out. Have fun.
Yeah, but we got Got some information on Game Award stuff.
Here we go.
As soon as I saw this, I'm just like, oh, John's gonna be pissed.
We joked about it last week.
We were joking. This didn't have to be real.
Yeah, but we were like, I think even then I was like, I won't be surprised.
I mean,
Yeah, none of us were surprised.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm just disappointed.
All it tells me is that we got to revise our game of the year.
Oh, yeah. Well, it also tells me what the winner is. I'm just going to call it. I know what the winner is now.
In a year full of good, like pretty good candidates for Game of the Year,
Yes.
we can get screwed.
Yes.
Buy
So, all right, Monday, the 18th, we have the official nominees for Game of the Year, and I'm assuming all the other awards. So the big news about this is very conveniently, TGA updated on their website under the FAQs has updated a section about DLC, expansion, remake, and remasters. And it says, the Game Awards aims to recognize the best creative and technical work each year, irrespective of the format of that content's release. Expansion packs, new game seasons, DLC, remakes, remasters are eligible in all categories. If the jury deems the new creative and technical work to be worthy of nomination, factors such as the newness of the content and its price/value should be taken into consideration. So the TLDR for everyone, Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree can now be nominated for the Game of the Year category.
And every other category it would hit.
Yeah. Which
also
Jeff!
which also means Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred
Vessel of Hatred could be in consideration.
could show
too.
up in like RPG and several other ones.
And like let's say if this was a thing last year or even the year before, like stuff like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed could have been considered. Phantom Liberty from Cyberpunk could have been considered. Stuff like that. Even God of War Valhalla could have been considered. Stuff like that.
But that wasn't last year. This is this year. So going forward,
Yeah, I know.
and everyone's nominations, they have to consider well-received DLCs and wonder
The
stuff.
thing is, it's like he can use whatever terminology, phrase it however he wants to. The thing is, we've had a history of these DLCs and expansions. They typically just, if they do get nominated, they're put into the game continuation category, or like continuous updates or something like
continued
that.
support or whatever it's called.
It's like they go into that category.
And we were okay with that.
Yeah.
But no, we were joking last week about it. About, man, Jeff really loves Elden Ring. He's still riding high about getting the first official release or like
Gameplay,
showcase of Elden Ring. Like he got that, so he's still riding high on that. And we joked about, would he allow it in? And the answer is yes.
Yes, he would.
Yep.
Because now it's gonna happen
So now one of two things is going to happen. Elden Ring is going to sweep
Again.
Yep.
again, or they're going to put it in there as a show and give the award to something else, which is then going to piss everyone off.
Yes.
Because
Correct.
then it's like, one, you put it in there when it honestly probably shouldn't be in there. And two, if it is in there, it should win.
Yes. Correct. Because now this, again, like what John said, it's like we had a year of some really good titles where it was a fun year for Game of the Year because you don't really know what's gonna win.
Yes.
I mean, you've got Astrobot, you got Black Myth. I mean, those are two like kind of heavy hitters. I mean, you've got Metaphor. You've got even Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I mean, you have like multiple titles that can compete for this, where it's like you can see an argument for everything. And now it's just like, well, now it's going to be Elden Ring.
And then we just sweep that out of the way.
Yeah, and now it's Shadow of Erdtree, Game of the Year.
I mean, and nothing against Shadow of Erdtree. It is a fantastically well done expansion and whatnot of Elden Ring and whatnot. It's just us seeing how the nominations continue to go in terms of remasters, remakes, DLC, which most that get nominated are very good and whatnot. But we are all in the camp of we like new stuff.
Yes. It like, okay.
To get praise.
So I was thinking about this. all day today. And, you know, I think it's past time of where this kind of stuff needs its own category.
Yes.
But I know the conversation in the past has been like, do we need a remake remaster category? Since this is clearly the route they're taking with DLC, season passes, and expansions, whatever. I thought about like what's the right way to call the category. I don't know if this is still the right word, but I pitched just make a category for this stuff and call it the enhanced category, okay? Because my mindset is, you know, enhanced as an enhanced version of the game or enhancing the game. So DLC, expansions, season passes would be enhancing the game as it is. Remakes and remasters is an enhanced version of an existing title. Make that a category, call it a day. The category could easily exist every year because if you're going to factor all those things in there, season passes is just new games. That's a wild one to me. They even clarified that.
The day that
all of that
season
can fit
pass,
into that thing in there.
The day a season passes in the category, I'm just gonna what the hell.
Yeah, because like, you know, when it comes to the game of the year, I am not necessarily opposed to a remake being in there if there is a substantial growth of the game. Okay, so like examples of where I'm not okay with it are the Resident Evil games. It's just a prettier version of a great game, right? But like an example, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Is you know, handshake.
I was about to say because remakes 1 through 3 are actually a significant.
Yeah, I
jump.
mean, in those cases, yes. Like 4, it's a great game.
It's been redone almost as much as Skyrim.
That is what it is. You know, I can see the argument for the Final Fantasy VII games because they're I know your take of number 1 it's a remake and number 2 it's only a part of a game, but the way I can process where I can understand it is it's a drastic difference from the original game. So I was like, okay, I can kind of see that. But I still prefer there's no remakes in the nominees. And then God forbid I don't want to see a DLC in there. I have not played Shadow of Erdtree. I don't know how haven't played Elden Ring. I don't know how expansive this thing is.
It's pretty damn expensive.
It's
give me a comparison. Like, is this like does this feel like its own game?
It could be.
If they sold Shadow of the Erdtree as its own game, nobody would have complained.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so it could have been its own game.
Yeah,
it could have been its own
very
game.
Easily could have been, but they decided to send it as out as a $30.
See, that was my question
DLC.
coming into the show could this have been its own game? Because I don't
If they
know.
wanted it to be, yes.
Because like, you know, my brain is still just wrapping around the fact that it is a DLC expansion. I can't get past that personally.
I mean, that's how they chose to sell it as,
right.
in which the community took it with open arms and the $30 they threw at Elden Ring for it. But I mean, if they really wanted to, they could have pulled a Ubisoft or anyone and just been like, yeah, this is Elden Ring too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Like I said, since it is labeled as that, I can't wrap my head around it as anything else, and I think it's crap that we all of a sudden changed the rules for Elden Ring. Like I think that's complete crap.
The joke here it would be if it's not for Elden Ring and it's just some from other time we're not looking at.
That's also true. Could be a plot twist.
The thing is, like, for Game of the Year, like in some of the other categories, I don't like. The Game of the Year, your big marquee category, should, in my opinion, should not have remakes, and it should not have like DLCs or anything like that. It should be what is the best new game that came out this year.
Yeah, and I can agree to that.
And the main reason I say that, and I've said it before for remakes, is even if you enhance the game, if you add some extra stuff on top of it, you are still taking an idea from like 20, 30 years ago, a game that everybody loved, and you're going, we're going to redo this and give you a little extra on it. It's not new. It's just
Prettier.
nicer.
Yeah, its core DNA is not new.
Yeah.
That I agree with 100%.
Yeah, it's like you're not making a new game. You're making, like you said, you're enhancing the game and maybe adding some stuff to it.
Yeah, you've got the skeleton and you've got the DNA of it.
But Game of the Year 2024 should be what is the best new game that came out in 2024, not the best DLC, not the best remake. It's like we had a good good group of selection of candidates that we thought would make it in there. There was pretty much a good, like you could make a good argument for like 6 games.
True.
For Game of the Year. How many years in the past how many in the past couple years? We've had good games, but we've had game A versus game B
Yeah.
for Game of the Year
Yeah.
for for like 4 years now. This is the first year in almost 5 years that we've had. Okay, we got 6 games that could take Game of the Year.
Yeah. I feel like the last couple years that I can think of that were probably in that same category of like, okay, you got multiple contenders here, would be the year It Takes Two won and the year Sekiro won. The other years, like, I mean, it was clear between like Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. It was clear between, God of War and Elden Ring. It was clear between Baldur's Gate and Zelda. You know what I mean? Like, we had those clears, but I would say, yeah, it's been a few years. The last one probably be the It Takes Two year. That was the year Metroid Dread got nominated too.
I didn't realize It Takes Two took Game of the Year.
Yeah, It Takes Two won the Game of the Year at TGA a couple of years ago.
Dang, okay.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, you could argue that, yeah, we don't have like big game A versus game B because we didn't have as big of releases this year. But also, it's like we've had a good year of games.
Yeah.
We've had a bad year of some games too. But
historical failures.
But we've had a a year of good games, and now this is one of the few years where we look at it, we go, there's not a standout. They're all good.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that
and then
they're gonna get swept
by the standout.
Right.
Yeah, the standout that everybody was like, oh yeah, Game of the Year. And now that it's actually probably gonna be nominated for Game of the Year, it's the same thing. It's like almost like the Nintendo thing. They're like, I mean, yeah, it's better, but come on.
See, I don't really think it is because I feel like just Elden Ring has such a following that people were more clamoring like it should be at this degree. Even if it is a DLC, it needs to be Game of the Year still. So people are going to see that in there and just be like, yes, that's the Game of the Year.
They're going to see it and they're going to vote for it because it's there and it honestly should win. But at the same time, you would hope that people would go, yeah, but why is it in Game of the Year? It's like it made sense when the game came out, but this is...
I hope that they make the distinction to not put it in the category because of it should go to a newer IP that's not just an expansion one not.
Yeah.
I have no trust in the fans because the friends are going to go with the game Shadow of Erdtree and choose it because that's probably the most notable game that they had fun with this year.
Mm-hmm. And also when it comes to it probably just being a nominee is at the end of the day, I mean, I think it's just about Jeff lining his pockets is all it's about. Because, I mean, you think about the controversy of last year. He had a game in the indie category that wasn't an indie game.
Yeah.
Like even the developer, the developer and the publisher both, because the publisher is it NetEase? No, it's Tencent that owned them.
It was Tencent.
Yeah, Tencent and even the developer were both just like, yeah, this is not an indie game.
Hey, that's on them for not doing the research.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true. That's on the Game Awards for not doing the research. But then
It was
I was gonna say, didn't Jeff like stand his ground?
yeah, he stood his ground.
Oh, yeah.
He did not backtrack on. He said indie was a very controversial and not controversial, but a very different word to a lot. Has different meanings to different people. It's just like not in this case. What do you mean?
It straight up is not an indie game in any context.
He just didn't want to say he was wrong. And now it's like in this case, like I feel like this is a wrong thing to do. And you're just going to stand your ground on it, and because it's going to line your pockets.
I mean, he is because it's his show.
Yeah.
So I mean, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
And I feel like putting that in there, I feel like it just takes credibility away from the show. Like that's my opinion.
I think it's like my main problem with it. It's not. I don't necessarily think that it takes credibility away because at the end of the day, it's going to sound a little bit like I'm playing both sides.
Hypocritical?
But at the end, I couldn't think of the word. At the end of the day, if Shadow of the Erdtree gets nominated and it wins, we will have like the best game that came out this year.
The best piece of gaming content.
Best piece of gaming content will have won Game of the Year.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not its own game.
Yeah, and that's fair. Yeah,
And
that's fair. You're being devil's advocate.
Yeah,
here.
it's
I know what you mean.
The best piece of gaming content will probably win Game of the Year, but it shouldn't be nominated for it because it's not its own new game.
Yeah.
So I could see where he's coming from. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of any year where I see a game that has remake in its title in Game of the Year.
Right.
But that's my own thing. Most people have accepted that that's acceptable. I don't like it.
Did you guys also see the thing that Jeff's trying to patent?
I missed it.
Yeah, I need to confirm this, but I saw multiple people on multiple various tweets that Jeff put out, multiple people commenting like, "Why the fuck are you trying to do this?" Apparently, Jeff's, from what I understand, is trying to patent the words Game Awards.
What?
Yeah, where only his show can say it. No one else can say Game Awards.
That's rough.
Yeah, he's trying.
Calm down, Nintendo.
I mean, yeah, he's pulling a Nintendo here.
He is. He's pulling a Nintendo with that, but yeah, he's trying to get that patent.
Realize that nobody likes that.
I mean,
the classic Fallout 4 thing. Everybody disliked that.
I was about to say, it's not even just a fan base thing. That's just I can't even think of where I was going with that now. More or less, his own realm of job and whatnot of community things of just other.
He's fucking video game media.
Yes.
Yeah, he's fucking the media is what he's doing.
It's like, yes, Jeff, we all like the Game Awards. We all like Summer Games. We like the showcases that you put on. We like the work that you're doing. Don't be a dickhead about it.
I mean, that's exactly it.
It's like you're already being a dickhead about it by changing rules
days before.
Changing rules days before, constantly changing the rules and standing your ground and not admitting when you mess up on something. But
now you're trying to monopolize Game Awards?
Yeah, the words Game Awards.
It's like if you didn't want to be a dickhead about it, you'd at least you'd put the in there.
Right.
But no, you want to be a dick about it.
Yeah, and just do
Game Awards. So literally no one would ever be able to do Game Awards. It'd have to be like Video Game Awards or some crap like that.
Or well, I don't know, would that work?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because it's kind of like the same thing of Take-Two was trying to sue about It Takes Two.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Is that the gray area or not? Oh, or you're gonna have to do a situation like Golden Joystick, where they're called the Golden Joystick Awards. There's no game in there, so that's the loophole about it. I don't know.
It's the Game Video Awards.
Yeah, the Game Video Awards. Jesus Christ! Damn it, Jeff! Don't be a dick. We'll see if that patent actually goes through, though.
We'll see.
Yeah, but
we may talk about it now, but it may not go through until like 5 years from now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Jeff. We like what you're doing, but be consistent.
Right.
That's why we liked it.
Well, he is being consistent and being a dick.
Well, it's like
No, he's being consistent and standing his ground on his choices.
well, it's like he's been consistent for like the last several years. Where it's like we knew what everything was gonna be, we knew where everything was gonna go, but like in the last year. He's like, nah, I'm gonna make shit up as I go now.
Yep.
It's like, no, that's not why. It's not why we like this. We don't want you to quit being the dickhead.
Right.
It's like be the dickhead on the night. Don't be the dickhead ahead of time.
I was about to say, stop bending the rules for things that are benefiting.
Right.
We liked the Game Awards because it was, for as far as we're aware, mostly impartial.
Yeah, true. And now it seems very partial.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, do you guys remember what our nominee predictions were?
Nope.
Because all right, Astrobot, Black Myth, Metaphor. I threw
Like a
in Dragon
Dragon.
Age, so Like a Dragon. So what was the last one? Was it just Final Fantasy?
I don't think it was Final Fantasy.
I thought Final Fantasy was our last one. I think I might have been the one to put that in there because I just think it's going to be in there. So was that the 6? I think it was.
We may have thrown Final Fantasy in there. I don't remember. I
think I'm the one that did because you did not. You refused to do it, and I did it. I think because I think it's going to be.
I didn't do it, and then I put forward Metaphor and probably Astrobot, maybe something else. But it's like you put forward like Black Myth and a couple other things.
Okay. Well, let's just say that was the 6.
No, because he didn't want to put Black Myth up, and you did.
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause
I think it was Final Fantasy though.
Because we might have put Final Fantasy, but I think that's when we started having that discussion of would Shadow of Erdtree be in there.
All right. Well, if that was our 6, take out Dragon Age, add in Elden Ring. There you go. There's the nominees.
Because I was kind of having that thing of where like Jeff might do his thing where like, oh, Game Science had some controversy.
That's right.
That so that we may not put him in there for that. But I mean, who cares, Jeff? You're making your own winner.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's gonna be the nominees though: Elden Ring, Shadow of Erdtree, Astrobot, Black Myth, Metaphor, Like a Dragon, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There you go. That's the Game of the Year nominees. I think we'll see on Monday, and I guess we'll see all the other nominees too.
Yep.
I guess. Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah, everything being revealed that day. So
Unless they're going to do it as a week-long thing.
no, I think everything should just be that Monday. And then we're going to pencil in, very lightly pencil in, that we're gonna do another live stream for the Game Awards, and we'll see if John shows up. Would this be the first time? If you don't get sick and you come, would this be the first time?
I've never been here.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, it'd be over Discord, so you can relax.
I did. I made an appearance, I think, last year because I just sent a message in chat before I fell asleep.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah. So we'll just do it over Discord. We'll pencil that in. It'll be a fun time. So
This is just me waiting to see if I get a text saying, "Hey, we're both sick."
just like not that long ago, I texted him that we were both sick, and Zach's response like, "God, it's not the Game Awards. Yeah, what are we doing?" Oh man. All right, let's shout out another sponsor. Shout out Agent Inc. Use our referral link down below. You can pick up some merch, whether it's one of the 2 hats or one of the jerseys. We'd appreciate that extra support. I just saw that they completely revamped their website here recently. So shout out to that. Go check it out with the referral link down below. All right. So you guys got anything else that you guys want to chat about? If not, we can start going through the weekly wrap-up.
I do not got anything specific.
Boop, boop, boop.
Not right now.
Okay. All right. Well, if you do, obviously shout it out. Oh, shit. It's my week for Game of the Week. All right. I got to figure that out here soon.
You would think you would remember that at this point.
You know what the sad part is? I remembered earlier when I was putting the script together. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my week. I got to pick a game, and totally forgot. And here
Even
we are.
I've had one ready to go for the past few times.
I mean, I called one in 2 weeks ago myself, but dang.
Yeah, no, I'll figure it out when we get there here in a bit. All right, so first thing on the weekly wrap up is about the Phil Spencer interview, and this is an Xbox ad. Did you guys see that ad?
No.
It's some new promotion thing they're doing. It's up on the website where it just shows different ways to play Xbox games, and it's just everything says this is an Xbox. So it starts off with the Series X, and then it'll show like
Does
a
it
laptop.
show the fridge?
I don't.
That's a great question.
I haven't.
Does it show the fridge?
I
I
will-
have to know.
I will say I didn't. I may have seen parts of this. I didn't know if people were memeing. I've just seen a bunch of pictures that say this is. People are putting this as an Xbox on stuff that is anything generally shaped like an Xbox console. So I don't know what's real and what's not.
Okay, so no, there's no fridge, unfortunately.
Okay.
No, they have They have the Xbox Series X. Then they have a laptop saying this is an Xbox for your lap. Then they have one of the handheld gaming PCs. It's kind of small, so I can't. I think it's probably the Asus, and it says this is an Xbox. It tags long, and then they have a cat in a litter box, and it says this is a cat box. And it's like this is an Xbox that goes on the wall, and it's a flat screen TV. And then it's like this is an Xbox that makes calls, and it's your phone. And it's like this is a bento box, and it's got a bento box. And this is an Xbox on the inside, and it's fire stick.
Can you do Game Pass on your phone?
Yeah, I've got it on my phone.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. Then it's got this is an Xbox that you wear with the Oculus, and it's like this is still an Xbox, and it's the Series S, and that's the big promotion thing. Which all this is really telling is kind of giving a little indication of that future of Xbox, where they want to be able to play everywhere, as we've already known. Which Phil Spencer did have an interview about this, and he did confirm there is a handheld in development, to no surprise, but it is a few years out, which also tells you it's just going to launch with the next generation. It's not going to come out this generation. So an official Xbox handheld in the works, probably going to launch with the next gen, which makes sense with me. I think next gen you launch your main console, and you launch the handheld hybrid, with the handheld alternate. I think that's all you do. You don't do this Series X, Series S thing, because I feel like it's just, as we all know, put them in a corner, right? It's kind of screwed them. Which the same thing could be said about the handheld potentially, but I'm sure they'll figure it out.
It's got to be the same. It's got to be the same thing where it's got to be powerful enough to run all the games, because they're going to require that it be able to be played on it. Yeah. To developers.
Right. So I don't know how they're going to figure it out. We'll see when the time comes. I don't know. I know they also kind of talked about like the mid-gen refresh, and he kind of talked about that. They just didn't feel like they needed it. Which, one, he's correct, and two, I think that's also just covering up for the fact that we would have had to do it twice, not once, because of the Series S. Which we've talked about here on the show. But, while he is true, they didn't necessarily need it with the exception of the Series S. I think it's also just him covering his own ass for the fact they would have had to do it twice. They can't just do one.
I mean, it's smart to not do it at all. But if
Yeah.
you were gonna do it, there's no need to do it for the Series X.
Yeah.
You would have just had to have released a newer version,
Of the
Series
Series
S.
S, yeah. Which, you know, in their mind they did, because they did the Xbox X, you know, Xbox Series X all digital. So there you go. So I mean, yeah, you know, and again, you know, the way he framed the whole thing is that he just didn't feel like it was needed. Which we can agree, if we're talking just the most powerful console, it's not needed. Let's look at the PS5 Pro, you know, because he talked about previous generations and stuff where it's like, you know, there were substantial growths, you know, like where Xbox One, Xbox One X, there was substantial growth of the 4K and stuff. You're going from 1080p to 4K. There's growth there. There's just not, we can't get substantial growth here. So I guess a little kudos to that, even though it's clearly a cover up. But he also talked about there is no red lines in the Xbox portfolio in which games can come into PlayStation. So like we've talked about it before. So again, like something like Halo could be on the PlayStation one day. Still looking at more acquisitions, though very large deals are probably off the table, as they should be. Jesus Christ. He claims that the business is healthier, which we'll see about that. We'll see if there's any more damn layoffs, and there's more room for smaller hit titles like Grounded, which is made by 12 people. You had Hi-Fi Rush and Tango. I don't know what... all right, buddy. Whatever. Did also talk...
I didn't realize Grounded was made by 12 people. That is fucking impressive.
See, I didn't know that either. That's why I wanted to include that one particular tidbit on the script, because I thought that was crazy.
That's impressive, because you guys haven't played it, have you?
I have not, but I have seen videos of it. Yeah.
I played it quite a bit, and yeah, the fact that it's made by such a small team, incredible.
Yeah, kudos, hats
I
off.
understand why it was in early access for like 2.5 years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for a long time.
That makes even more sense than did before.
But that being said, the amount of stuff that they did and put out in that time is incredible.
Yeah. He also talked about how Indiana Jones on a subscription service was apparently a headache like racing games in terms of license and stuff. Since it's Disney involved, I don't doubt that. So I wonder if that means it's going to be one of those things where Indiana Jones could get removed from Game Pass one day.
Probably.
That'd be my guess. You know, even though it's an Xbox title, could get removed. So I don't know. I mean, really the biggest thing to take away from this is there is an Xbox handheld officially in development, which kind of already knew that based on the gigantic Xbox leak that happened, that it was apparently in the works already. But it's cool to see that it's officially confirmed by the man himself.
Yeah.
Looking forward to being able to have an Xbox handheld.
Yeah, for the first time ever. So I'm glad they're getting their foot in the market for that.
Year
I'm glad
2030.
handhelds are coming back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hope that means that PlayStation will actually get their, because apparently the Portal has exceeded their sales expectations, which was I imagine
good.
probably pretty low. They probably had pretty low expectations. So hopefully that means that, because I've always believed with the Portal that the Portal was them dipping their toes in the water to see if it's like, all right, should we do a native one? Let's do this first, and let's see if a native one will work. So like I hope that means like, you know, a PSP will come back in some capacity. You know, if they want to call it PSP or call it something else, I don't know. And then Xbox doing their first handheld ever. I mean, I'm down for it because we already know the Switch 2 is going to be handheld. So like what John said, I'm glad handheld gaming's coming back. That's awesome. Love that. I thought this was funny. So after years of being out, the GTA Trilogy is finally fixed. It's no longer a buggy nightmare that Zach did play. Shout out to that. And he can attest that it was a buggy nightmare.
Oh, there were some rough patches.
But the funny thing is, Rockstar removed the developer's name from the splash screen, which was Grove Street Games, the people who made the game. It is removed from the startup of everything for the game with this recent patch. And the CEO of GSG has blasted Rockstar, saying, speaking hypothetically, it's a dick move to remove the primary developers from the credits and update, especially when the update includes hundreds of fixes that were provided by those devs that stayed out of the players' hands for years. So I think it's funny because I think it's just Rockstar just be like, you know, we gave you this, we gave you three historically acclaimed titles to make this. It was a layup. Yeah, these are older games, right? This was a layup, and you fucked it up.
Well, it's like the.
But is this legal? Like, I don't know if this is legal. Can they just do that? I don't know.
I guess
mean,
they can.
It's their property, so
true,
I mean,
but-
technically,
It's one where it's like this guy be like, it's a dick move to do that. It's like, yeah, we made updates for that. You just didn't. It's like we did it, and you just didn't put them in. Apparently,
Yeah, you didn't.
It's what it
launch
sounds
them.
like.
Yeah,
it's
that's
doing.
what it sounds like
But they don't Rockstar side. It's like you could have just made a fucking good game.
to begin with.
You could have just made a game.
That's the way I interpret this too.
I mean-
Is like, yeah, this all could have been prevented if you just made the game good.
the real question here is like Rockstar doesn't necessarily have to put their credit in the game. It's a matter of, did they pay them? If they paid them for the work, then yeah, Rockstar can just not throw their credit in there for all they want.
Right.
It's also like if Rockstar's behind the scenes has been the one making all the fixes and that, they could be like, yeah, we don't want your fucking name on here anymore.
But at least from this comment, it implies that Rockstar didn't do the fixes. Game Street Grove did.
Yeah.
But
from that, it's like stayed out of the players' hands for years. I would assume that like maybe Grove State Game worked on it or like had some fixes, and Rockstar may have just went, dude, we're fucking done with you. We got this.
It's possible, yeah.
See that there's a lot of gray in this, right?
I was about to say there's not enough information besides.
Yeah.
It's just their logo was taken off the splash, and
For
and
my
one
perspective,
hypothetical.
yeah, for my perspective, I could assume like it got shipped and Rockstar's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, get out of here. We'll fix.
We're done
shit.
with you. Either way, it's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Also, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, they weren't gonna work with you again anyway after you fucked this up that bad.
Oh, not
but
like that, no.
why are you poking the bear?
Yeah, you're poking the Rockstar.
It's like one of the most powerful companies in the world.
I know. There are certain companies you don't mess with, and Take-Two is one of them. You just don't. You just avoid them. Oh man, I'm gonna. Hopefully, there's gonna be more updates about this. I want to know. I want to know the tea. I gotta know.
I mean,
the
it
tea.
may just be this one comment and stuff.
It might be, and that might be the end of it, and it might be the end of Grove Street Games. So shout out to that. All right, so we did have a Q&A for November for Exodus. That's that new sci-fi game coming out. Forgot who's developing it. My bad. But a lot of inspiration of a lot of titles. I know Mass Effect is one of them. But it's a lot of different random pieces of information that came out. I wanted to shout out here. Not all quests will include choices due to the time dilation, but all of them will have choices that have impact, and they will create cascading effects for later parts of the game. Pretty standard there in terms of like narrative-driven stuff. The team hears gamers and the community about wanting to see gameplay. The game is coming together really nicely. A date does exist for when that's coming, and stay tuned, which they did say they plan to share more in December. So hopefully we'll actually get to see some nice gameplay. Protag June, shout out to John with his online name, is a customizable character that leans more into someone like Shepard from Mass Effect that has personality, his voice, lots of drama, etc., as opposed to being completely blank slate like Protag, like Elder Scrolls. Again, kind of figured that's where I was going to go. Weapons won't become obsolete when you return from the Exodus missions, but in-game technology will evolve alongside you as you go on those missions due to the time dilation. CC Orlev, yeah, CC Orlev, which is Matthew McConaughey's character, plays a major role in the game. That's a secret for now. His tagline, I am CC Orlev, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, has a specific meaning. So, interesting. Really excited to actually see more on this game, see some gameplay on it. I don't even know if there's like an actual release window. I think it's just TBD, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't announced anything.
Okay, that's what I thought. But either way, really excited to see more on Exodus. I've been kind of watching this one since it initially got announced, so looking forward to seeing more on it. Did you guys watch the South of Midnight preview? Because I forgot.
No, I missed this. I mean, I would have watched it because this game I've been sort of waiting for.
Yeah, there was a preview video that came out this week. I just forgot to watch it. Did you check it out? Because I know you were interested in this game too.
Well, I think you guys were more interested than me.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the concept of it, but
Right.
It's more of a we'll see from me.
All right, that's fair. So some information from the preview, which is all kind of like just little tidbits, I feel like, more than anything. It's set in American South. Comparisons to Kena, Bridge of Spirits. So shout out to that. Face off against mythic creatures from southern folklore who control each region. Hazel is a weaver who uses magic white threads to control the world around her. That sounds interesting. I'll be kind of curious to see what they mean by that exactly. I assume it's probably in the video. Again, I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Traverse the world with double jump, air dodge, grapple, glide, and more. Unique stop motion animation style, but the stop motion animation style can be turned off except for cutscenes. So if you're not a fan of it, maybe it kind of messes with your head a little bit. No big deal. You can turn it off with the exception of the cutscenes. High praise for the soundtrack audio design, so that's always a good thing. Third person action combat. Official game length about 12 plus hours, which cool. I'm down for something like that. Unreal Engine 4 targeting 60 FPS on Xbox, and it's a 2025 release for Xbox Series, PC, and Game Pass. So I need to watch the video for this though, because does look a really interesting game. So shout out to South of Midnight. If you haven't checked out the preview video, you need to go check it out. Speaking of, Zach mentioned a dead MOBA from his past. The server's coming back online. My dead MOBA got another PTR update with talent reworks for Heroes of the Storm. A PTR patch is out for HOTS with map, hero, and balance update. And it's not like the normal stuff of like tweak this, tweak that, because they do that about, I've noticed, probably once a quarter. I'll see a tweet from the Heroes of the Storm Twitter with an update. But this one's like got like talent reworks, and I'm just like, what is going on with this game? Like it's dead. Just let it die. Let it go out. Okay, it's done. It's over. I would love for it to be a thing again, but it's not. Its window has passed. I love Heroes of the Storm, but this thing's dead. But I guess shout out to Heroes of the Storm, I guess. Still thriving in some capacity. Just like Strife is apparently coming back out of nowhere.
I wouldn't really say coming back, but
well,
I mean,
the servers are online, so
yeah.
I guess the
see how
community.
long.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. I don't know.
Because based on community content, apparently some community really wanted Strife back,
Yeah,
supposedly.
yeah. And the sad part is,
all the MOBAs to bring back.
yeah, you bring back Strife. So I don't know. Shout out.
If you know what Strife is, hats off to
Yeah,
you.
shout out to you. Shout out to you. And then, like I said, with HOTS, I mean, it's hanging on by a thread. So the fact that there's one guy that works on the game, and that's it. That's it. There's one single person, man. So I don't know. I get very excited when I scroll through Twitter and I see a Heroes of the Storm update. I'm just like, oh, look at that. Throwback. Shout out. Next thing I've got here, this one's for Zach. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop exceeded sales expectations
As
significantly.
it should have.
I think they've convinced them to let them make it,
Yep.
and they're like, it's gonna do fine.
Don't worry
Oh,
about
most
it.
definitely.
And it's like it came out, they're like, oh man, I was lying.
Oh, someone wanted to remake the game because, I mean, it is technically a cult game following.
Yeah.
So, I mean, expectations were probably on the lower side, but yeah.
Yeah, this is probably like some guy that's been there for a while. He's like, come on, man, I just want to remake Lollipop
let me do it, come
Chainsaw.
on.
It's like I just want to have some fun for a while. They go, all right, man, we'll let you have it.
Yeah. If it gets you to shut up. Go
I mean, to
for
be
it.
fair, though, it did come out at a good time because, I mean, it's a fantastically well done action adventure game, which a very colorful style, which you're not used to action adventure games, but it did come out during a time where there was tons of those.
Yeah.
So it was in a very saturated market versus now, not so much.
Yeah.
It also came out at a decent time in the year too.
When nothing big was coming
Yeah,
out either.
yeah.
It's one of the few games this year that came out and it was like, we got a nice little window right here.
Yeah.
For
Where
people.
it has a chance to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, it's like people are probably finishing up the last big game. They're waiting on the next one. They just want something fun.
Right.
And this is a fantastic game for that.
Yep.
Characters are fantastic. Gameplay's fantastic. Dialogue's still outstanding.
Good deal. And good deal that it exceeded sales expectations. Shout out.
We might have different like categories for outstanding, Zach. For what it is, you could probably call it outstanding. It knows what it is.
It's very self-aware. That's why it's outstanding. If it wasn't self-aware, it would be.
If it was trying to be serious, you'd go, "Come on."
If it wasn't self-aware, it'd be very awful dialogue. But it is very aware of what it is.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, next up. Horizon Online is set to launch first half of 2025. Can't wait to see what comes out alongside of it.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
probably try it.
I mean, I probably will too. But like I said, I can't wait to see what's going to come out alongside of it. It's going to be the Switch 2 with Mario Odyssey 2 or something. Something big is going to launch right alongside this, and people are going to forget about this and be playing something else. I don't know what it's going to be, but
How do you think this is going to be for me going in and trying to play Horizon Online, having zero experience playing Horizon games, even though I own both of them?
well, first off,
But you don't own all of them now.
Yeah, that's true. You have Call of the Mountain.
No, you have Horizon Lego that just came out.
That is also true. That did
Yeah.
just drop too, and apparently it's got very. It's got reviews. It's got reviews. Yeah, shout out, I guess. But honestly, I feel like this is based on the gist that I got from like the leaked build that came out and stuff. I feel like you can probably just jump into this and you'll be fine.
It'll
Horizon
be a
universe.
game.
Yeah, it'll be a game that will get overshadowed by something else, as per norm. WoW will be getting player housing in the new expansion next year, which that is a completely new
Is
thing.
it going to
WoW.
be awful as Final Fantasy 14's? We
I
shall
guess
see.
we shall see.
I say awful. Final Fantasy 14's housing is okay. There's just not enough of it.
Yeah. Producer of Sonic X Shadow Generations wants to remake Sonic 06, the hero we need.
He's not the hero we need because someone's already been doing it. He's
I
just going
know.
to steal their credit.
Yeah, Chaos, I think's his name. Yeah.
We already have the hero we need. This is just someone jumping on the fan wagon.
Yeah, and want to make it bigger scale. Well, see, the difference between Chaos and the difference between this is that it would be a full remake because the only thing Chaos did was literally just gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't touch any of the, like, when I say gameplay, levels. That's all he did was levels.
Yeah.
Like, that open hub world stuff, all that bullshit, none of that's touched.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah,
How
that's
much,
fair.
How much work do you think one man has time to do
Well,
for
I
a
know.
game that's
I'm not
that
blaming
bad?
him. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying what the difference would be. Okay.
How are you gonna feel if this guy gets to finish a remake Sonic 06, but all he gets to do is a 1-to-1?
Oh, Sonic's on the up and up. Do we really want to tarnish Sonic again?
He gets to do a 1-to-1, but make it prettier.
Silver will be forever forgotten again.
It's no use. It's no use. That's not true. He could be at the end of Sonic movie 3. We'll see.
If they pull Silver out,
Silver's a great character.
Somebody is smoking thinking
no, they're
anyone
not.
knows about
He's
Silver.
a great character.
Anyone outside the fan base will have no clue who Silver is.
Silver's a great character, all right? Because it's already been confirmed by the director that the end of this movie will set up the stage for the next one. You know, as you would expect. But since this was like the trilogy wrapping up, it was kind of like, is there going to be a fourth one? I think it's going to be Silver.
It better be a freaking truck.
I think it's going to... Whoa, relax, first off.
Why?
Relax. It's
Sonic
gonna be
Adventure
Silver.
2 always starts with a truck.
Well, that's this movie. This is basically Sonic Adventure 2. We're talking about the end of the movie.
Okay. Sonic Heroes. It better be Team Chaotix.
I agree to that, but we need Silver. Silver needs to be a thing. Yes, we do. Silver is a great character. Give us Silver. Speaking of movies, though, Splinter Cell movie with Tom Hardy has officially been canceled after being announced back in 2012.
I didn't realize this project was still technically active.
Yeah, it never got officially canned, and now it's just been officially canned, and it's been, and like I saw some comments where they're calling it like the project that got away because it was just gonna be a really cool project with Tom Hardy leading it, but just never worked out.
That's unfortunate.
But hey, you still got the Splinter Cell TV show coming out. Forgot who that's gonna be with. Maybe Amazon. I don't remember, but that's a thing that's happening. So I guess shout out to that. You guys have anything else you guys want to chat about today?
No, I'm not giving you more time to think.
Damn it. Why? Don't call me out like that. Damn it, Zach.
Just gonna briefly mention a game I've talked about a lot before, Stolen Realm. I've come back to it. Well, these two lose their goddamn minds over here. Yeah, I've been playing Stolen Realm again, back in the roguelite mode of it. A lot of fun. Now, that's all I really had, so it's time for Gamestetic Game of the Week.
Fuck you, Zach.
Thank
you for buying me a few more seconds.
I've already said it's Gamestetic Game of the Week, so go.
All right, I'm running through my game shelf in my house real quick.
You've had 45 minutes since it was mentioned.
Fuck off, Zach. All right, Gamestetic Game of the Week. I've got one. All right, it's going to be a basic one, though. Kind of basic. Not like God of War basic or anything like that, but it's going to be kind of basic. Gamestetic Game of the Week. I'm going to do this week. I'm going to do Soul Calibur 2. Want to shout that out because I love Soul Calibur. I'm not a fighting game guy like these two, especially Zach. I know you're a massive fighting game guy. John, I know you're also a pretty massive fighting game guy. I'm not a big fighting game guy. Soul Calibur are the only fighting games that I genuinely love and am okay at. Soul Calibur 2, my introduction to the franchise. I did not play, one of the highest rated games in video game history with the first one, setting it like a 99 or whatever it is. But Soul Calibur 2 was a really interesting title back on the PS2, the Xbox, and the GameCube because depending on what console you got it for, you got a different, guest character for the game. So if you got the GameCube, you'd get Link, which was awesome, so great. If you got the Xbox, you got Spawn. So shout out to that. And then if you got the PS2 version, you got who was it? It was from Tekken.
Heihachi.
Heihachi. Yes, thank you. It's from Tekken. Honestly, the Weapon Master mode, a lot of fun. You can dump a lot of time into it going through as different characters. I mostly played Link because I was a kid and a Nintendo fanboy playing on the GameCube, and Link was honestly a really good character. Would love to see Link.
He was solid.
Dude, Link was so damn good.
I think out of the guest characters, I think he was the most well-liked and competitive at the time.
He was incredible. Loved him. Such a great character. Got a lot of cool items from the Zelda universe in the game. But honestly, Soul Calibur is just one of those fighting games that's kind of got lost to the wayside because of just like sales, popularity, and other higher selling games from that same developer that have just kind of taken off more. Would still love to see Soul Calibur come back in a future entry, but just the whole tale of the swords, man, with the Soul Calibur and the Soul Edge, and just the overall lore of everything with Nightmare, Siegfried to Nightmare, the split, everything, all the characters, Cassandra, Sophitia. One awesome thing as well that I really, really genuinely love about Soul Calibur 2 was another unique character to that game, Necrid. I thought Necrid was such a sick character, also created by the Spawn creator, that pretty much got lost. And
was he created by the Spawn creator? Okay.
Yeah. So, Spawn obviously got involved with the project, the Xbox version, and the Spawn creator created Necrid. And he's just gotten lost to the wayside, just in the second game and never got carried on. Really cool character there. Again, it's a fighting game, and it's an early fighting game, so there's not a lot of meat to it in terms of like story. There's a lot of lore to the game, yes, but you have your classic mode and you have your Weapon Master mode. If you want to get into more story stuff, definitely go to like Soul Calibur 3, where it's got like the entire expansive create a character story mode to go through, which is also great. But yeah, so GameStet Game of the Week, Soul Calibur 2, not the remake version they did. That was crap, and I think now delisted. Pick it up for PS2, Xbox, or GameCube.
I didn't realize they did a remake.
Yes, they did do a remake. I do not believe it had any of the guest characters. It was only digital for PS4 and Xbox One, and it was crap, and people hated it, and it got delisted.
Oh.
Yeah, now you remember. Yeah, Soul Calibur 2 HD.
Because, it wasn't really a remaster. It was a weird, like, almost online game service thing.
Yeah, it was crap, and people hated it, and got delisted very quickly.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah, so very unfortunate. Hopefully we will see more Soul Calibur in the future. I would love that. It's going to be a long time before the next one.
It's been a while.
It's the last one, I think, was 6 or 7. 6.
6.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be many years before we potentially get 7, which really sucks because I love Soul Calibur. I love that universe. I love the lore. I love the characters. But we'll see if we ever get it again. But that was GameStet Game of the Week. All right, you guys got anything else?
Nope.
Or you want to wrap things up? John?
I'm good.
All right. So the music, let's get out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. Comment if you know who the heck Silver is.
Wow.
All right, do everything he said and more. And if you like what you saw here today, but want to come check us out live, we do these every Saturday about 6 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, leave a comment about what you think about the Game of the Year. What you think's actually going to win it this year.
Yes, please do, because this is a crock pot full of shit. But yeah, Monday we will get the nominees for the Game of the Year. And then next week we might also be talking about seeing Stalker, if John wants to pick that up. But yeah, make sure to do everything they said and more. Make sure to check out the Patreon down below. Check out Rogue Energy Agent, join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend, and we'd appreciate the extra support. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.